On March 24th, 2024, I started my 450-kilometre hike on the Lycian Way, a historic, long-distance hiking trail stretching across the southern coast of Turkey, between the two tourist towns, Fethiye and Antalya. This region is known as Lycia. After a few days of travelling from my home country of New Zealand, I arrived in Ölüdeniz and took in the beautiful scenery and new climate. I also had the best haircut experience of my life here, thanks to this guy. Sevgi, a Turkish woman with whom I had organised transport and luggage storage with prior to this trip, dropped me off at the trailhead.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Okay, I'll see you 20 days.
Yes.
Perfect. Only 2 kilometres into the trail, I came across 2 Fethiye locals, who, after I asked them if I could purchase some water, offered me coffee, water, and Turkish delights for free.
We're making cocktails here, also coffee.
Oh yeah? Yeah.
My job is mixologist, you know mixologist?
Oh yeah?
I am mixologist normal.
Siz video çekek bari.
Ben geldiğimde bir daha yaparız.
During this hike, I passed a few guided hiking groups. So I've just started the Lycian Way. Lycian? Lycian? I'm still not 100% sure on how to pronounce it. I'm gonna have to ask someone, but I'm probably maybe 4 or 5 kilometers in, and yeah, it's going well. It's pretty hard, especially in the very mild heat. As far as I know, Turkish people think this is cold. For me, this is quite warm. But we'll get through it.
Annenin göz bebeği ilk gelini benim, tamam mı? İbrahim olamaz. İbrahim olamaz, ben olacağım.
My first night on the trail was spent near the cliffs of Butterfly Valley, an iconic tourist attraction in the area, and for good reason too.
Good morning. Day 2 on the Lycian Way. I stayed in Butterfly Valley last night, about 50 meters from the cliff, under some nice pine trees. That was quite nice. I got there a little bit late, but that's okay. No sandflies to bother me like back in New Zealand, so I'm feeling good about that. A few spiders, a few unusually large ants, so you know, introducing myself to new species along the way. Yeah, I just had some coffee with a couple nice locals. One of them from Istanbul, the other one that lives right there in Butterfly Valley. And again, I just walked in, I said, "Do you guys have coffee?" They said, "Yes." I said, "Great, how much?" And he said, "Free." It's like, you know, he said he was feeling good today, so I mean, yeah, so far these Turkish people are incredibly kind. I stopped for a quick meal of lentil soup and coke. The food in Turkey is so fresh and tasty, and being the shoulder season, it was always easy to find a spot to chow down.
Yes.
I came across this old Roman ruin, which from what I could gather must have been a tomb. My second night was spent with a couple of local farmers who ran a cafe. Language translator apps came in very helpful on this trip, and here it served as my main form of communication.
Okay, okay. Bir yumurta omlet alabilir miyim? Okay.
This couple was extremely accommodating and definitely made sure I was well fed after kindly welcoming me into their home. This is a typical Turkish breakfast, consisting of a selection of cheeses, a basket of bread, honey, various jams, and fresh fruit and vegetables. In an unfortunate turn of events, during my hike on the third day, I tripped on some loose rocks when entering a rocky decline in the trail, and gave myself a nasty thigh contusion when breaking my fall. This was not caught on camera. This is honestly quite funny when you see how excited I am to get to the next town.
And we're making our way to Patara now, which I believe is a beach town. So I'm hoping to have my first swim on the Lycian Way.
This careless, miscalculated step meant I had to hobble down the next 7 kilometers of trail to the nearest road, wincing from pain on every step I took. From here, I caught a taxi to the next small town, Galemish, where I posted up and healed for 3 days. Rest, ice, compression, and elevation was the name of the game during these few days. I stayed in a hotel where I was pretty sure I was the only guest and felt rather unnerved by the situation I was in. Through diligently following the rice method and performing a few light stretches each day, I miraculously recovered to about 70% of my previous ability. Step by step, I made my way down the road into the small town of Galemish to have breakfast. I really started considering the possibility that I would have to cut my journey short and just lay on a beach for the remainder of my time in Turkey. While on one hand that wouldn't be so bad, it's not what I went there for, and I knew I had to keep going. I could walk. Albeit not very fast to begin with, I was moving again. Over the coming days, my leg would slowly heal, and after about a week after leaving Galemish, I barely noticed the minor uncomfortability.
And now, you know, my leg can bend past 90 degrees relatively comfortably, but I figured I can't really wait around too long. And yeah, in an ideal situation I would wait probably at least 2 weeks for it to fully heal, but you know, we're gonna push through because I feel okay, and I'm just gonna take my time and watch my step and hopefully not fall again, which is really strange. This has never happened to me on a hike before where I've actually like properly injured myself. You know, I've come close to like spraining ankles and things like that, but this is a whole new territory for me, especially being in a foreign country. It's been an amazing time. I've really enjoyed it, apart from the last couple of days when I've been reluctantly resting.
The day I started hobbling away from my safe haven hotel, it was hot and hard. Around midday, I came across what I suspected was a farmer or hunter with his rifle on full display. You can hear the nervousness in my voice as I decide which way to go at a fork in the trail.
1, 2.
Two different paths. Two paths. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just, yeah.
Kalkan. Bir bura.
Oh, Kalkan, yeah.
Arriving in Kalkan was a relief. I stopped at the first restaurant I found open and ordered a feast and drinks to rehydrate. This day taught me how important navigating water sources would be on this trail. I enjoyed my first swim in the Mediterranean while on this trip. Here you can see me getting absolutely thrashed by this wave and acting really casual after. The next day, after leaving Kalkan, I came across a French guy and a Turkish man resting in the mid-morning sun. It was nice to sit down and chat with a few fellow hikers and hear their stories.
Big canyon with waterfall.
Yeah. It would be interesting to be here in the busy season because it seems when I go through these places it's really quiet.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of people would come in the summer.
Yeah, but there is a lot of people now. I meet every day. I meet at least 5 people.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
This friendly dog made my day.
Oh, you're actually a friendly dog. Hello, buddy. Friendly dog.
guy that's naked, I think, and also because there's both an energy that you both know you can't look at the guys. I don't have that energy. I don't have it.
Sana yumurtalı ekmek mi yağlı ekmek mi? Ne yiyeceğiz? Ha?
Şimdi daha sonra ekmek.
Günaydın. That is good morning in Turkish. I'm learning. I just had a nice breakfast at the town that I can't pronounce, the Gökçeron, something along those lines. Very nice family. And I had my first gözleme, which is like a pancake. It can be sweet or savory, and it's really popular here in Turkey. I see it advertised everywhere, and it was really good. I had a savory one with like a little bit of spinach inside, and it was delicious, very filling, and I feel good. The trail is pretty easy right now, actually, just going through a bit of a rocky paddock, and probably won't make it to Cache today, but maybe a little bit just before there. Got my power bank to charge up, and would appreciate a shower, but an ocean swim is just as good, so maybe tomorrow.
While making my way along the trail, out of the blue I met Casey, a South African man. This was a long distance day for me of about 40 kilometers, so it was nice to have someone to pass the time chatting with. Thanks, Casey.
So you gotta like hold it real still.
Move iPhone continuously when taking a camera.
Yeah, so basically just hold it like as still as you can.
Do I keep my finger down on it or just
No,
click
no, just click it.
Okay. And keep it as still as possible.
And stretch it.
Cool, I've just learned something. This is what I find so funny in life. It makes no sense. Like, I could have very easily figured that out on my own.
Yeah.
But like, just having a second voice just to like force me to do it. Like
Yeah.
just having you here, like knowing that you know stuff about like a camera.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is just my own weakness.
It's one of those things that you're just like.
I need someone to just kick me in the bum. That's
Right.
all. I have a feeling the views that way will be great.
Really good to meet you.
Keep well, Holmes. It's been good chatting.
Yeah, really
All the best for the rest of the trail.
Now I'm walking on some dirt tracks, heading on down to the town of Cache, where I hope to find myself a shower and a power outlet to charge my power bank. I'll be honest though, my legs are kind of feeling it. But we're almost there. I think only a few kilometers to go, so let's get it.
Cache was absolutely exquisite. There was actually a Kiwi girl staying in the apartment directly opposite me. What are the chances?
There were so many greco-roman amphitheatres on this hike. Those guys really did know how to build a structure to complement the view. This is an ancient Lycian tomb, carved into the cliffside. Ambling my way through the Turkish countryside, I found it very quiet and peaceful. Again, a result of the shoulder season, I had these ruins to myself. Here I am passing by one of the many Roman sarcophagi, basically an ancient coffin. Sometimes I would pass through a farm of goats, always with their trusty Anatolian guard dog nearby. I got used to barking dogs on this trip.
Good morning from Demre. Good old friendly neighbourhood doggo here. Hey buddy. He's a bit of an old dog. Just camped right over there above the boatyard. Walked along that beach there last night. Came from the coast down there. And now we're going to be heading into Demre, which is like a relatively big city, and heading up a big peak
Not sure what it's called, but I've heard it's kinda difficult. Maybe you need to bring extra water. We'll see. We'll see how we go. First I need to get out of this sandy area, go grab a coffee, and some snacks for today as well. So hoping to get to Finnica, which is the town on the other side of the mountain.
These cookies and cheesy pastries were absolutely delectable.
We're going up now. A couple of days of flat, and now heading up this mountain behind the town of Demre. I think we're going up to around 1750, 1800 meters. Highest point on the trail today. So far, the trail is actually quite nice. Not too steep. I am what feels like 3/4 up this mountain, and it is surprisingly hard. Probably one of the hardest mountains I've climbed. It's just up, up, up. I think I'm almost at the summit. And then we're going to go along a ridge and then down to Finnica. Whew. This is a challenge right here. But that's all part of it.
After what I felt was a mountain of effort, I walked upon a Turkish group of friends having lunch near the mountain road. In classic Turkish hospitality fashion, they invited me over to feast. Needless to say, I did not turn down this offer.
Raki.
Rocky.
Raki ya. Raki bilirler. Raki.
Hadi brost diyecek.
Raki
Brost.
brost.
Brost.
Brost. Aftoç brost.
Ha, brost tabii ona brost diyecek.
Şeyde vur. Bardağı vur.
Vur bardağı
nerede?
vursana.
That's,
Onu
and then
istiyor. Ha.
oh, it smells good. Good, yeah.
Ya gut. Anes. Aftoç, anes.
While coherent communication was almost non-existent, I still understood and appreciated their kindness very much.
Bizim mala mülke değer vermeyen insanlar. Hiçbir şey. Ailesi belki çok zengin bir insan ama değer vermezler. Doğayı tanımak, insanları
The section of trail between the towns of Finica and Karaöz is recommended to bypass with a bus or taxi, as it is taken up by highway and is not considered enjoyable or safe. Pleased with the relaxing day, I ended it by watching the sunset and eating enough pasta to feed a small village. From Karaöz onwards, I felt the trail change underfoot. It was milder in undulation, really well maintained, and in my opinion more scenic. This swimming area I came across was spectacular. The water was a perfect temperature, and it felt great to cool off in the heat of the day. Arriving in the next town, Adrazdan, I had a romantic dinner for one near the beach before setting up camp at a local campsite. One of my favourite towns along the route was Çıralı. It featured the ancient city of Olympos, as well as the Mount Chimera flames. This is where for over 1,000 years, methane has been seeping through the rocks of this mountain, and when coming into contact with oxygen, sets fire. I also shared my marshmallows with some Turkish people, which was a big hit.
Tamam. Bir saniye. Şeyde çekebilirsiniz. Video bir saniye. 1-2 saniye.
Tamam biz ama gidersek gidelim.
Mehmet yiyeceksin arkadaş koydu. Nerede?
Yok, koyuyor istersen.
там, и там. Они довольно далеко.
Leaving Çıralı, I followed the winding trail around the rocky coast.
That's good. I used to do this when I was a kid as well, on the way to school. Brings back memories.
This Nescafe and oat biscuit combo was a great pick-me-up in the middle of the day. Most nights when I was camping, I opted for the very nutritious and infamous 2-minute noodles. While not the best food to eat while hiking 25 plus kilometers per day, these bad boys were like a warm hug at the end of the day and served as a morale booster. The next morning I explored the ancient Greek city of Phaselis, founded in the 7th century BCE. It's always amazing to try and comprehend the civilizations that lived in these areas. Good morning. I'm leaving the town of Kuzdere. Just stayed at Gera
apartment hotel last night, and that was very relaxing. I'm actually liking the balance of staying at a hotel every 4 days or so, just to sort of refresh, shower, laundry, charge things, sleep in a bed, and then go back to camping. So I'm heading into the mountains now, and I've got about 3 days left, and my pack is pretty heavy. I've got like 3 days worth of food in there, because it doesn't look like there's a lot to buy from or eat at along the way. And it's sort of just a risk if the places will be closed or open. Don't really know, so playing it safe by bringing extra in my pack. By the way, I thought I'd mention, if you're interested in what I'm listening to with my little dangly earphones here, Lord of the Rings audiobook. It's really entertaining. And when you're walking on dirt roads like this, you know, it's nice to just like listen to a book. It's cool.
Once again entering the Turkish mountains, I was away from the people and in the quiet of nature. I could feel the nearing end of the trail and tried to relish each fleeting day. Oftentimes on well-maintained trail where you don't have to think too much about each step, it's easy to fall into a trance-like state, almost meditative. I use these times to think about life, the trail so far, and most importantly, what I'll be having for dinner.
This is such a cool part of the trail. It reminds me a lot of New Zealand, walking through places like Arthur's Pass, things like that. You've got this awesome pool here. You've got a few tiny fish in it. I don't know what people do with this. If people are trying to tightrope with that over this water, which kind of looks a little bit gross. I certainly do not have the slack to do that. So I'm gonna go around this way.
After a steep incline up a rocky hill, I came to an intersection where an old man was selling oranges. I appreciated the zesty refreshment and stopped to attempt a conversation.
Keep on. Fit. Yeah.
Alacak mı başka?
Oh no.
Tamam.
Yeah.
Sağ ol, teşekkür ederim. İngiliz.
English.
İngiliz.
English I speak.
Hisarçandır'a gidiyorum.
Hisarçandır, yeah.
Hisarçandır. Evet, tamam.
Camp.
Kamp yapacağız.
Camp, yeah. Tamam.
Hadi bakalım, güle güle.
Teşekkür.
Hadi bakalım.
Thank you.
Günaydın. Welcome. I'm on my last full day on the Lycian Way. There's about 40 kilometers of trail left until the finish. And tomorrow, the 12th of April, is when I'm scheduled to finish. So I'm going to do about 30 kilometers today and head up the mountain pass behind the camera there. And hopefully camp somewhere around the top there with a relatively nice view of the valley that I'm going to be walking down tomorrow morning. Probably just like a 10, maybe 12 kilometer stroll downhill is all I'll do tomorrow morning, so that'll be nice. Feels kind of like I got the whole trail to myself a little bit, which is cool. So we're going to carry on, head up this next mountain pass and see what we can find today. So come on, let's go. Sipping on my final on-trail coffee, I would be lying to say that I was not excited to finish the Lycian Way. After all, it is always great to tick another one off the list and indulge in modern luxuries post-trail. However, despite this excitement, I also made a conscious effort to reflect on the adventure I had had, thinking about the people I had met, the camp spots I had secured, and the amazing food I had readily devoured. I really enjoyed the Lycian Way. A walk through time in a sense, an amazing, rich and historical culture experienced, and an ever-expanding appreciation for Turkey, its people, and land. Teşekkürler Lycian Way, you were amazing.
Done and dusted.